Hello students, how are you? So today, as I discussed in the last lecture, we are going to study or learn one of the methods of balancing a chemical equation. In our book, we have three different methods of balancing a chemical equation. Now before starting how to balance a chemical equation, we are going to learn what actually a chemical equation is. A chemical equation in which number of atoms of each element is same on the side of reactant and product is called as balanced chemical equation. So today the method which we are going to discuss in brief would be hit and trial method, because this is my favorite method and this is one of the most easiest method to balance a chemical equation. Keep your books and pens handy so that you can go ahead and write down the tricks to balance a chemical equation. In the next lecture, I am going to discuss two more methods of balancing equation, which will be partial equation method, and after that we are going to look into balancing equation by oxidation reduction method. So today we are completely going to focus on hit and trial method of balancing a chemical equation. So what are the information or what are important things we need to keep in mind to learn balancing of chemical equation? As we discussed in the last lecture, why do we need to balance a chemical equation? So we can clearly see on the screen, sometimes a written equation does not have equal number of reactant and product. For every chemical reaction, the law of conservation of mass must be followed. And this we have been doing since last 3 to 4 years, that the law of conservation of mass states atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed. Therefore, the number of atoms in the reactants must be equal to the number of atoms on the product. Now, let's see an example of an unbalanced chemical equation. Why I am calling it as unbalanced chemical equation? Because if you see the number of atoms of chlorine on the reactant side, it is 2, whereas on the product side, it is 1. While we are trying to balance the equation by hit and trial method, the simplest and the first step which we follow is we write the names of the elements on the reactant side as well as on the product side. And in front of the name of elements, we also write the number of atoms of that particular element on the reactant side as well as on the reactant side, product side. You can clearly see in this example, we have one sodium atom on the reactant side and one on the product side, whereas we have two atoms of chlorine on the reactant side and one atom of chlorine on the product side. Now, whenever you are balancing the equation, please remember you cannot add the numbers in subscript. If you remember, while teaching you the atomic number concept and atomic mass number concept, I told you about subscript and superscript. If a number is just written below the element, it is a subscript. If the number is written above the element, it is known as superscript. Now, when you are writing the atomic mass number and atomic number of an element, what you do is you write the atomic mass number in the superscript script and atomic number in the subscript. Here you cannot do it. You have to write the numbers in front of the element. Now, when you are writing the numbers, or when you are changing the number of atoms in front of any compound, the number is applicable for the entire compound. Like in this particular example, if I put 2 in front of NaCl, then on the product side I will have 2 atoms of sodium and 2 atoms of chlorine. Now again the equation changes. On the reactant side I have 1 atom of sodium, on the product side I have 2 atoms of sodium, because I have put in the number 2 in front of NaCl and that 2 is applicable for both sodium and chlorine. Now again, to balance the equation, what you have to do is you have to put number 2 in front of sodium. So the equation becomes 2Na plus Cl2 gives you 2NaCl. While you are writing the final equation, you have 2 atoms of sodium on the reactant side as well as on the product side. And same stands true for chlorine. You have 2 atoms of chlorine on the reactant side and 2 atoms of chlorine on the product side. Now here I have written some of the steps. If you want, you can copy it down. That will really help you and remind you about the steps which has to be followed to write a chemical equation. Now first part is to balance a chemical equation, chemists use coefficients. Now what are coefficients? We have learnt in mathematics. Coefficients are small whole number that appears as a factor in front of a formula in a chemical equation. Like you can see here on your screen, I have written 2 in red numbers in front of hydrogen, and you can see the equation is N2 plus H2 gives you NH3. That was the unbalanced equation. To balance this equation, what we have done is we have multiplied hydrogen by 3 and multiplied the entire ammonia by 2. Now you can check the balanced equation. You have 2 atoms of nitrogen on the reactant side and 6 atoms of hydrogen on the reactant side. If you check the product, you have 2 atoms of nitrogen and 6 atoms of hydrogen. As mentioned, please take care that we do not add coefficients and subscripts together. Now this was the first equation which we have done. Now let's understand the easy way to balance the equation. These are your small tricks and trades. And guys, this is not your textbook, so if you want, you can write it down. You can remember these words, and if you follow these steps, I personally feel that the balancing of equation becomes much easier. The first thing is I have used some acronyms, that means short form of remembering those steps. My first acronym is MINHO. MINHO stands for M for metal, I for ions, that may be a positive radical or a negative radical. Please remember, we have done cations and ions. Ions means radical. N means non-metal, O means oxygen, and H means hydrogen. Why I have named this acronyms, or why I have made these acronyms is because if you follow these steps, now when you are balancing a chemical equation, first try to balance the number of metals on both the sides. Then try to balance the ions on both the sides. Then non-metals, and then oxygen, and at the end try to balance hydrogen. If you follow the step, it would be systematic and will become much more easier for you to balance a chemical equation. Amongst the carbohydrates, now again, what is carbohydrate? Compounds which contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen are called as carbohydrate, like a glucose molecule. It has the chemical formula is C6H12O6. When you have any compound which contains these 3 elements, try to balance carbon first, then hydrogen, and at the last you should try to balance oxygen. Don't be stressed, don't worry, we are going to take 3 or 4 examples of balancing a chemical equation. Then you can try to balance out the equation from your